The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
You know what? I've been waiting on this for a long time. It's not like Lizzo saying I've been waiting on this one. But, I mean, I've been a Formula One fan as long as I can think of. And I've been a fan of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez about as long as I can think of. And, well, here at PTR TV, we like to give back every once in a while. So when I got the option to give back this week, you know I took it, right? Like, nobody's surprised that we took it here, but if you are surprised, you really haven't been around long enough. So, with that being said, let's kick this thing off for some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PTR TV. Welcome to Elbows Out Racing League, the Multiclase Hour here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. It's the Gran Premio de la Hora Multiclase de Gracias, Tacos y Turbo en la Ciudad de México. All that to say, in the long and short, the Grand Prix of the Multiclase Hour of Thanks, Tacos, and Turbos in Mexico City. I do think I pronounced the word city wrong, but you know what? That's okay. And I'm pretty okay with it. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me get the music back here. Where'd the music go? There we go. The music is back now. So, with that being said, all done and dusted. It's going to be myself, Brad, in the booth here, pushing the buttons. And of course, as always, as week by week is true, just as the sun rises and the sun sets, well, Patrick is always with me. Patrick, good evening, my friend. 2 minutes left to go in qualifying. How are you doing?
I am doing muy bien as we're getting ready for 60 minutes around the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. It's going to be a fiesta out here tonight. It's going to be very fast. It's an interesting track because it's at such a high elevation. You'll still see some really good speeds, but you're going to want some high downforce just because the air is so thin here at this circuit. It's a circuit that's actually been around for quite some time. Its earliest iteration, which isn't too dissimilar to how it looks now, was opened in 1959. So it is a very historic circuit here. 17 corners, including the famous Foro Sol Stadium section right at the end of Sector 3. So we were talking a bit earlier pre-show about there's a good potential where somebody could spin and potentially block in the entire area. So hopefully that doesn't happen here tonight, but honestly, it's going to be a fun track. The newest track to the iRacing platform as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this one to come through here, and I've been waiting on this track to hit the paint for a while, and now that it's here, I'm quite satisfied all the way through, I have to say here. And it's a beautiful day here at the circuit. 73-degree track temp, 67-degree air temp. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better day if we quite literally asked for it here. And right now, the point standings, we got 30 seconds to go. We'll get into them a little bit later, but right now what you need to know is Cody Perodato is being chased down by JD Daniel. 27 points the difference for them as they go through in LMP2. In GT3 Pro, it's Colin Bourdon and Tyler Stenik, who are absolutely duking it out with Callan Tobin not that far behind as well. And then from there, GT3 AM, Ondera, Clayball, and Pinero, the three drivers going for the GT3 AM championship. Like I said, we'll dive into that a little bit later here. But qualifying is over, and we've got to get these keys to the race out and going. Of course, this is a 60-minute three-class race with a pit stop of 4 tires required, a backup car hiding for you in case you do something absolutely horrendous. This week's sponsor, if you haven't figured it out based on the name, it's everyone who's reading this. So a big thank you to everyone who watches every week. We've got some fun stuff planned coming up soon with some people that watch. I don't want to give all my details away yet, but big shout out to everyone who watches, every single driver that participates, and everyone who is here week to week. With that being said, we've got some big things coming up here this week, or with this race. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but as the starting grid rolls, Patrick, let's talk about this just to kick things off. I'll just come out and say it. It's the fact that the GT3s in Sector 1 are faster than LMP2s. I mean, what in the world is that about?
Your guess is pretty much as good as mine. By all accounts, it really doesn't make a ton of sense, but I mean, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles here. Or I guess in this case, because we're at the Mexican Grand Prix, would it be taco shell that crumbles? Yeah, you know what I mean. But I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a nightmare for traffic, too. I mean, especially because, if the GT3s are faster through Sector 1, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough time for these LMP2s to get on past. So traffic management is going to be even more crucial this time around than it normally is.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say to that one, to be honest. The fact that is where we're at. I got told that and kind of didn't believe it. I had to go back and fact check it, and it is correct. So, yeah, with that being said, that's going to be a fun one to really keep an eye on because, again, I didn't believe it at first, but here we are. So Sector 1 is, going to be an absolute poop shoot is the best way I have to phrase it here. Nathan Himperly in pole for the GT3 EMs here as they scroll through your screen and continue along. Daniel Pinero in P6, Wedderburn in 5th. Back in the LMP2s, it's Dylan Ackley and Luke Patrick on the front row. Of course, Cody Perodato having to take his success ballast through for this week here. Yeah, let's talk about keys to the race, and I'm going to tell you right now I'm changing this. LMP2, high elevation, high draft. High elevation, high chance that you're not fast enough. GT3, stay cool, and all of them, don't lose your head in the clouds. The elevation here at Mexico City, again, if you are not a Formula One fan, it's all they ever talk about is how high the elevation is here. But, of course, as we go right now, it's pretty impressive here. An hour is on the clock. Pace lap is officially starting. I'll ask the question now, Patrick. Do you have a winner in mind in any of the classes? You don't have to say yes, but do you?
I'm gonna say no, honestly, just because this is a new experience for everybody here. It's the newest track on the iRacing platform. It's not a track we've run in any previous season because it didn't exist on this platform in any previous season. So it's gonna be a new feeling for these drivers here. Now, we can always just go back to the usual suspects of drivers who are always super quick, Dylan Ackley's, your Cody Perodatos, your Kyle Haugens, and then you go to your GT3s. You got your Steniks, your Nodwells, your Boydons, Burley Bibb. You got all those drivers who are normally pretty quick. So those could be drivers to watch, but this is such a new track that I remember interviews last week after the 90 minutes in the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, is that some people didn't even buy the track kit at that point.
Yeah, it was crazy to think that a week ago people didn't own the track, and now here we are. So I'm pretty excited to see how this goes through for everyone as they go forward here. We'll try to get Robot Patrick fixed here really quick because Robot Patrick, he's okay, but he's not my favorite if we're honest. So we'll see if we can't get that sorted out and underway. And I believe we have here. So Robot Patrick, are you gone? Regular Patrick, are you back?
I don't know where my AI doppelganger came from, but I believe that regular Patrick should be back. I wasn't even aware I had a robot clone.
There we go. Robot clone is gone now, so we're good. All right. Yeah,
Bashing to the Real Steel universe.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with your robot clone, but tell him to stay away for a while. I have no interest in competing with a robot. The day AI can take my job is the day that, well, I quadruple down on keeping this job. So, with all that being said, coming through here, the middle sector of the track, stadium section. What do we expect stadium-wise here as we get ready to go? Are we thinking a lot of overtakes or none? One word, yes or no?
Yes. They're going to be risky, but they're going to happen.
I already know these GT3s are going to spin coming through the stadium. Like, can we just be prepared for that? Because I don't know what else would happen for them as they go through. Pace car peels off. We are ready to get this show on the road. It's going to be 60 minutes here. The Multiclase de Gracias 60 coming at you live here from Elbows Out. We are green for Luke Patrick and Dylan Ackley as they get going. GT3's behind. They'll get going for one of the longest runs into turn one that I can think of. Green flag from Barney in the background. They are going. GT3 pros. GT3 AMs are way behind. Side by side into turn one. Here comes Luke Patrick, Dylan Ackley. How does this end? Well, up the inside is going to go the 145. All of the LMP2s are clean through turns 1, 2, and 3. GT3s, here we go. William Westbrook with a good lead. Tyler Stiddick to the inside there. That number one trying to go hard on the dive. Inside to outside. Everybody in the pros is going to make it through turns 1, 2, and 3 without an issue. GT3 AMs, they are single file across the line now, led by Nathan Hemperly. They are doing pretty good here. Good battle going through. Kel Hogg and Maxwell Woodmansee in front, going side by side here. And the continue it along here, heading into the second sector. Patrick, we're all clean coming through. GT3 AMs are just now hitting turn one, and Daniel Pinero already on the move here.
They took it better than the Formula One drivers did on Sunday. I mean, this is very nicely done here, especially because it is just still a very new track. So, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns coming into tonight, but I mean, these drivers, don't tell them that because they're driving this track like they're pros already. We're seeing some moves already as I see Andre Wedderburn already has a black flag.
That he does. I'm not sure what for, but he already does have one. So unfortunate to see there. We'll see how he adjusts. Up in the front here, Maxwell Woodmansee, Cody Peridotto, first time coming through the stadium section, side by side through the stadium section. Now that is a good look coming through for them. Contact comes together. That is going to be Maxwell Woodmansee, who will see the outside wall.
We were talking about it pre-race. With me, you, and Dwight, we were just talking about it, and it was kind of a prediction that coming out of stadium, somebody was going to go ahead and spin it around town, and sure enough, I don't think that's going to be the last time we'll see that here tonight. And sure enough, it wasn't the last time we saw it. That is a GT3. That is Dane McGuire into the wall there, having a bit of a spin there. And actually, I think that's right before the stadium section.
That is just before the stadium section. Unfortunate to see there. And look at this. Coming through Sector 1, William Westbrook is on the back of Maxwell Woodmansee by 1/10 of a second. And Woodmansee can't run away with any pace. These LMP2s are fast in a turn, but in a straight line here, it seems like they're not really getting any of a run. William Westbrook is about to overtake. Look at this. This is next level.
Oh, I mean, these drivers certainly got used to this track pretty quick. I mean, yeah, you were saying earlier, and actually we checked it earlier, that the GT3s were quicker in Sector 1. So, I mean, this is a fight for actual position on track here as they make their way through the S's now, heading down to the section right before the stadium known as Recta del Ovalo, which is a name that I definitely probably butchered the pronunciation of. but now they're coming into what used to be an old baseball stadium back in the day. Now it is a part of the circuit here, one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known part of the circuit. And it's crazy because, I mean, the GT3s are following Maxwell Woodmansee just like they're in the same class. I mean, just on the Delta alone, you couldn't even think that they're in different classes.
It's amazing to watch here. And just ahead of them, Dwight Hibbs, Bob Carey battling it out. Let's see how this goes as they go through. And I mean, they are giving a great run here down into turn 1. Dwight Hibbs right on the back of Bob Carey, not by much, but just by enough that he can stay right with him here. So continuing along and going through, Aiden Garcia currently here in P3, right on the back of Luke Patrick. Where is Dylan Ackley, you may be asking? Dylan Ackley, 3 seconds in the good, and Brandon Burns, look at the front end of that Alpine painted Ferrari. Let's see if we can get an idea of what happened to him here as we'll go back and pick up a PTR TV replay. First one here of the night coming up, and what happened there really quick? Well, let's find out here with Brandon Burns if we can find it. Let's see if we can tell what happened to him here, Patrick. And I have a feeling that it was a turn 1 hard-breaking moment. Let's see it here.
Oh, it was somebody else, actually.
He's already got the damage. So what is that? Here is Mike Sermon a little further behind, though. He took a little bit too much sausage curb. That's not what you want. Here's Dayton McGuire. This is his incident, lap 1 into the stadium section. And just the back end of the car became the front end of the car. Not ideal for him there as he went through. Maxwell Woodmansee, this was his incident there early on. Hard hit in and going. Ethan Murphy had a moment early on. Just a little too much curb. The car breaks, and thankfully he's able to slide it off a little too far back and eats the wall in that number 26. So we've had several incidents here. Lap 1, Dwight Hibbs has had a lap 3 incident. Let's get a quick look at this, and back end becomes the front end. Asking a little bit too much of that back axle into the stadium section. And again, as we've seen, it is so hard to actually get the pass done here. So now Dwight might be stuck in this traffic. We could, I'm going to say could one more time, we could have a situation where a GT3 wins overall.
That would be absolutely insane. Like, I would be so impressed if a GT3 could win this thing overall. As far as I am aware, that would be actually a first. I know it would be the first time I've seen that in any form of multi-class racing, especially here at Elbows Out Racing, where your LMP2 drivers are usually super quick and super rapid, but I think this might be a first in league history if that happens.
Maybe I'd have to double check. Aiden Garcia, Luke Patrick side by side into the stadium. Look at the sea of LMP2s coming through as Aiden Garcia doesn't want to give any room at all here. Luke Patrick holding side by side. He started P2. He's got the outside line here, but now they've just got to run this all the way down. And if you're Kel Hagen, I mean, where do you go? Who do you stick with? I don't think you have a good option here. Looking through, looking in, looking out, looking around. Let's see here what's going to be the plan into turn 1 side by side. We go 3 wide. We go 3 wide into turn 1. No, Kel thinks better of it. Hard on the brakes, side by side. Patrick Garcia. Garcia goes inside, turns to outside, turns to inside, and he has to give up the position. Luke Patrick, beautiful defense there, up into P2 in LMP2, holding on to that. Further back here, GT3s. Well, let's keep our eyes here for a minute. What is this? Colin Bourdon, Tyler Cook going through, Callan Tobin. I mean, this is just absolutely wild going into turn 1. They are not giving up the ghost at all. Look at this big battle here in GT3 Pro.
Oh! There.
That is John Javicki who is around, and he is unfortunately into the pits. He is off track. He is having to take a reset, and that is unfortunate for him.
Looks like Mike Dermott had to take one too. He's also in the pits, which is pretty early for a pit stop here in the 60-minute races. So we'll have to get a replay and kind of see how that unfolded. And here we go. Let's go to get a replay on this. And we'll just kind of see. Yeah, here we go. Well, the Mustang's already got no rear wing, so that's already an issue.
So this is John coming through, a little bit of sausage curb. He's in the back end of all this, and I mean, he just ramps the sausage curb there, trying to catch up with the pack behind, unfortunately. So not ideal for him, and that is unfortunate to see as we go back. Live pictures now, checking back in with the field as they come through the stadium section. I mean, you've got tons of drivers going through. Daniel Pinero, unfortunately, is around here heading into the S's. Looks like he is getting going. It's a little bit cloudy. I do want to check the weather here. Track 81 degrees. We are a little bit cloudy though here, 10:14 a.m. virtual time. Humidity is slightly rising, which could mean, it doesn't mean that. I'm not gonna pump in any fake drama into this one. Medley trying to go up the inside of Bourdon here into turn 1, Patrick.
And we'll see if he can make it stick, and sure enough, he makes it stick. Very good job there from the Mustang. He's putting in some very, very, very nice moves here. And now he's going to go ahead and go chasing here. Now, there's a good amount of spots to get some really good slipstream here on this track. I mean, just after the S's, you can get a bit of a slipstream going into the Ovalo. And then right out of the stadium section, and then after Peralta, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Basically, the corner outside of the stadium is a good spot to really get a good slipstream here, as we do have Kylan going ahead and putting in some good moves. Kylan Bruce now trying to chase down Carla Bourdon here, who just got overtaken by Brian Medley a few moments ago. And they're going to get close. They're going to push it to the limit. And he's going to give it the beans, but so far, so good.
So far, so good is the $1 million answer here as we ride on board for a second with Kylan Bruce going along. And you can see there the GT3s can get really abrasive with curbs. They can really try to give it a lot of slide. Kylan being very brave. If you watch Formula One go through here, which I'd say a lot of people have, they are very precise in their runs through these corners here. We'll watch Benjamin Bechtel and Dayton McGuire battle it out for a second, and you can kind of see here they have that level of precision, but I mean, the Formula One cars here that come through, they have so much downforce, so much grip in their tires. They are like millimeter precision coming through. These GT3s, they get a little bit more wiggle room to kind of go a little bit wider, take a bit more curb, be a bit more abrasive, and they get to just really have a good time with it. As we see here through the stadium section goes, that is Ondera leading Bechtel, who's around. That is unfortunate to see there. Bechtel going around. He now drops down the order behind Aaron Clayball. I swear, every time I spectate a driver and try to give a driver kudos, I do something like that to them. Why do I try? Why do I try to spectate drivers and give them kudos? I am the queen of a commentator's curse.
Happens to the best of us, Brad. It happens to the best of us. I mean, I can personally say I have commentators cursed championship leader, and he ended up losing his championship because his pedals gave out. So I mean, it could always be worse.
I mean, I've never done that, thankfully. So I feel like the day I do that is the day my career is over. So I haven't done that. I have to point out here real quick, we've kind of hit a weird time frame here that I wasn't expecting. Seems like a lot of guys are really settled in on this track in a way I wasn't expecting. Look at that, down the inside, Dwight Hibbs. Sir, you are driving an LMP2, not a Subaru. What are you doing?
He's doing the rally car stuff. I mean, he's in a Subaru livery, so he might as well just when in doubt, go flat out, and he's got to get past these GT3s. He's got to try to make inroads here. Funny enough, that was a pass for position, mind you. So he wasn't getting past lap traffic. He was actually just trying to get through.
That was wild here, and I want to go back as we see them still going side by side. Is Paul Nye, the donut guy, is trying to get past Tyler here. or not past Tyler, but past Dwight. Dwight's defending hard here. Now we're through the S's. This is where the LMP should get a little bit of an advantage, but no, look at this. I mean, Paul's just right on the back here having the run. Dwight struggling through the S's, and Paul is going to say, you know what? Thank you very much. I'll work my way back through here. Don't mind if I do. And if you're wondering, when did Paul Nye get up into the lead? Well, this is how Paul Nye got up into the lead here. Let's go back and catch out a replay really quick. So this is Paul Nye in P3, and this is going into the stadium section, and that is going to be Dylan Ackley and Tyler Stinnett getting together. That sent Dylan Ackley into the wall, and that gave Paul Nye P1 in GT3 Pro. Craig Yor, Derek Rice had an incident here further back. What happened with them? A bit of contact there. 2, 3 into 1 doesn't go, as that was unfortunately, I believe, Seth Bosselman who was in that one. Here's the 54 of Kylan Bruce having an incident there on the back end. Unfortunate to see going through, but that is going to bring us to all of the fun things that will get us up to date on what's happened, because it's been a wild, wild race so far, and we're only 15 minutes in.
Indeed, yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it too. Is like, it feels like this race has gone by so quickly, but it kind of has really, because it doesn't feel like it's been 15 minutes already. And look at this, that is Aston on Aston violence here, as Kylan Bruce does go to get past Hugo Ortiz in a very nicely timed descent up the inside. And I mean, I can see why the striker was added onto the calendar, and I know we're both so glad to see this race on the calendar, because we were both curious coming into this, like, how will this race do as like a multi-class endurance race? And now we're getting our answer, and honestly, it's better than even I expected, and I already had high hopes for this track.
I'm keeping my high hopes here. Seth Vosselman and Matthew Marin here in the back, keeping it side by side. And that's a hard send up the inside. Can you make that stick, though? Here coming through, the answer is going to be a resounding N-O spells no. And that number 143 of Seth Vosselman makes his way through past Matthew Marin, holding on there. Kyle O'Grady a little further ahead, trying to defend. And don't blink now, ladies and gents. We have our first driver into the pit for their actual pit stop. That is not a tow. That is not a black flag. That is Dylan Ackley opting for the undercut, the early pit stop to try to defend it later. Was that planned, or is this an audible? Because it's tough to pass here. I have a feeling that that was an audible called, because he comes out right behind Brian Metterly and Callan Tobin ahead here. And maybe he's just going to try to stick along for a while as the Mustangs go side by side here, going in through towards turn 4. I tell you what, this one's shaping up to be possibly a top race of the season.
Indeed. I mean, we saw earlier with Dwight Hibbs having a bit of a tough time getting through this GT traffic. So I think that it 100% an audible call there for Dylan, but I mean, there's a lot of play callers in a lot of different sports. I mean, I'm sure your favorite NFL team has a play call that you wish you could just get rid of. RIP to any Jets fans, but ultimately, sometimes you just get strategy calls wrong. We see it in every form of racing, and here, I think this might have just been a mistake, but hey, maybe we'll just let Dylan Ackley cook, and he might cook up a surprise for us here.
I would be very, very cool with a surprise being cooked out here at the Gran Premio de la Hora Multiclase de Gracias, Tacos y Turbo en la Ciudad de México. I'd be pretty cool with that. I had to say that at least one more time, because I know I'm going to say it at least 2 more times here in the broadcast. So let's see how this one goes here. 42 minutes, 27 seconds left to go. Dylan Ackley works his way past Callan Tobin, dives right back into the slipstream here, and is going to try to work his way past Brian Metterly down. Looks for a dive into turn 1. Hard on the brakes he goes in that LMP2. Not able to clear into turn 1. Left some room on the apex there by Metterly. Plenty of respectful racing room. Metterly ramps the sausage curbs. Tobin with a Callan Tobin, not Coben, Tobin with a better run there through turns 2 and 3. That makes for an interesting moment. Up front here, Luke Patrick, Aiden Garcia. This is a battle for the overall lead, separated by a 1/10 of a second. This is going to get spicy here. Luke Patrick, what can you do to defend this overall lead? Even though we know they still need to make a pit stop, they are fighting right now for multiple things. They need to get runs away from Dylan Ackley. They need to get some space to the rest of the field, and they need to figure out between each other who's faster. And right now, I don't know that there's a solid answer, and that is an audible. Again, Luke Patrick into the pits here. We'll keep our eyes and see where he comes out in terms of relation to Dylan Ackley. Dylan Ackley, where is he at on circuit right now? Let's look. He is currently in the pits. He had to come to the pits. Dylan Ackley is wrecked.
Oh.
No!
Oh no. I will claim that commentator's curse, because I was saying that he was gonna cook something special, and unfortunately he cooked himself straight to the pits. It looks like it's gonna be a battle with the GT3. You can fight pretty hard on this track, but sometimes it is a fight you're gonna lose. And yeah, I think that's just what happened here. We'll see.
So what did he do here? He snapped it on the S's and slammed the wall. That is game over. So for Dylan Ackley, that is all she wrote. Parker Chiapuzzo further ahead here, having a moment as well. Let's see if we can get an idea of what happened to Parker. I have a feeling that Parker whiskey throttled. That almost looked like a hardware failure, actually. I'm not going to say he whiskey throttled it, but let's ride on board really quick and see. Watch that steering wheel down on your bottom left. So he goes left. And no, he just lost control there. And then unfortunately for Parker, that's his big moment. Dylan Ackley, again, we saw his meatball flag. Kyle O'Grady, Mike Sermon, they have had a moment. What happened here? Just a couple of cars coming together, and look at Ondara with the big defense. That's impressive. Going through. Luke Patrick has had a moment here, coming out of the pits, I believe. Let's see here, and let's go back to live pictures actually here while we're with Luke Patrick and see just where he's at. He's come out of his pit stop. He is, well, this is not where he wants to be, I'll tell you that. Pit stop time-wise, though, 21.5 seconds in the lane, or in the box, not bad at all. GT3s are starting to make pit stops here. 35 cars still running out of the 39 that joined. Patrick, I kind of don't know what to think right now.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a very chaotic race, and we're not even halfway through yet. We're over a quarter through this race already, but there's still 3/4 of this race left to go. So I mean, these drivers are gonna. It's seeing so many of the LP2s coming to the pits early, because Cody Peridotto also made a pit stop a few moments ago. So it's really interesting seeing a lot of these LMP2 drivers pit so early on in this race, because normally we see drivers pit when there's like 20 minutes left to go, not when we're only 20 minutes into a race. So the strategy is going to be really interesting here. I mean, overall, this has been a very unusual multi-class race here, because normally the LMP2s are getting through traffic at this time, but in some cases they're actually just fighting for position.
Yeah, this is, I mean, such an interesting run to see here. The fact that they are struggling this much to clear through and really run. Usually we see like seconds upon seconds a lap going through, but now, I mean, it's tenths of a second. So let's look at this pace-wise. Cody Peridotto, his best lap is a 1:39.4. His last lap was a 1:42.2. He is currently P15 overall. Colin Bourdon ahead of him ran a faster time than him last lap. So this is interesting to kind of see here as more LMP2s are into the pits, and LMP2s pitting earlier than GT3s is also not something I usually expect here. Dwight Hibbs is into the pits now, and I know Dwight can hear me, so Dwight's into the pits. This is a dumpster fire to come out into. Look at Luke Patrick here in this 121 trying to work his way around traffic there. He gets past through. Kel Hagen is going to be back. I mean, not even just behind, but he's behind an absolute sea of cars. Goodness gracious me. This is getting interesting. Side by side, Kel Hagen, Cody Peredato. This is for position. This is for net P3 in the LMP2 class here. Can Cody clear through? Kel's diving deep on the inside. That is a GT3 in the grass. That is the number 25 of Parker Chiapuzzo, who says, you know what? I want nothing to do with this going through.
And I mean, kind of a smart call for him because that could have ended in contact. That could have ruined his race as well as a few other drivers. But it's really weird. It's such a bizarre race, but it's something that we kind of signed up for. But coming to a brand new track that most of the drivers didn't have a lot of experience with. And this is something you don't see every day. We are watching, and I kid you not, for those of you who may just be tuning in, this is a pass from Cody Peredato onto Colin Bourdon for position, mind you. This is for P11 overall in this race. And they are fighting out like they're in the same class. This is just so bizarre to me. I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that the GT3s are almost equally as competitive as the LMP2s.
This is great racing. I would love to see how a GTP would go around here. Admin, when you're watching this back, if you're listening, I need GTPs next season, please, and thank you. Kel Hagen getting past Colin Bourdon here, going through. This almost makes me want to forget the fact that this is multi-class and just treat this like a one-class race. You know what I mean? This is amazing to see through and watch. I do also want to check back here in the GT3 AM category as well. That is going to be Aiden Garcia trying to work his way through. Look at the dive from Ondera trying to hold off Dayton McGuire. But that is just how well these GT3s are handling this track. I mean, this is just next level stuff here, ladies and gentlemen, as they go through. And I tell you what, we have hit 5 minutes to go on half race distance. We're going to try to take care of a quick tech thing in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is? It's temporarily loud engines, and I say we ride on board with a Mustang here of Christopher Ondera. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Patrick has turned into Broadcast Patrick with his audio here. Going through, let's see if my audio's gotten better as well, because apparently I sounded weird, and I can't exactly blame it all on iRacing. I'm running a brand new 9950 X3D and a 7900 XTX build, so there's no reason I should be having any issues here. With that being said, if there are issues, well, let me know, send me a message, and well, I may look at it, I may not. I promise nothing is where I'm at with it. But if you are tuning in here live, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into what's been a walking wild multiclass hour here in Mexico. Gran Premio de la Hora Multiclase de Gracias y la Ciudad de México. Grand Prix de la Hour Multiclass. Gracias, tacos, and turbos in the city of Mexico. I mean, come on, it's on your screen. And I'm sure you can make the mental math work on what's happening here. Great battles happening all the way up and down the field here. We've got Dave McGuire, who is right on the back end really quick, going through against Christopher Ondera. That AM's a lot of screen time today. I tell you what, they have had some great battles. And just point out that until this moment, P3 overall on track, Patrick. P3 overall on track was this driver right here, Paul Nye, the donut guy. We talked about how wild this track is. Patrick, that's next level ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, like we were talking about earlier, how GT3s are fighting for overall position, not just traffic, but actual like position for points. It's just ridiculous, but hey, we love it here. We love seeing something different, and that's awesome. The time of the day it's been about is just, it's a new track that apparently, from what I've heard, actually from our very own Corey, that this track is a nightmare to run on PCs at times. Unfortunately, I really think it's been the best when it comes to optimization and figuring out this track is sport. But what has been excellent is the racing. I mean, we've seen a few battles between LMP2s and GT3s, which never happens.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this. I mean, we're seeing battles. Right now, Tyler Stenick is third overall. Okay? Not third in class, third overall. Like, out of all 34 cars still running, he is P3. Just want to let that sink in for a second. And behind him, this is the battle behind him, Cody Peredato and Luke Patrick. Just want to make sure everyone understands. At a overall GT3 on the overall podium. It's predominant, when I say that. I'm not going to lie here. As we have some multi-class battling happening back behind. This is Kylan Bruce and Joshua Bibb who are going in. This is P5 and AM versus P10 and Pro for P21 overall, who are going through Roxy here, making a trek to Mexico, trying to have a good run there, and looks like doing a pretty good job right now. Aston Martin, as it's going to dive up the inside, and Joshua knows that that is not a class battle, gives up the ghost.
It's wild that earlier we actually thought where the GT3s were actually having more audacity fighting the LMP2s than cars in their own category, which is bonkers beyond belief here. But I mean, hey, it's something fun, and we love to see here at PTR TV. We love it here at Elbows Out Racing. And I mean, this is honestly the track that both you and I were so looking forward to when it was announced for the calendar. And honestly, I think it's delivering.
It is doing a great job here. Cody Peredato on the back of Luke Patrick here. This is for P3 and LMP2s. Peredato, of course, your points leader, trying to hold on here. Let's see what sort of moves he can make. If he can make a move through, let's see, down the inside, he's going to go. Correction, tried to go the outside, and Luke Patrick defended the inside. Beautiful move from him there, trying to get his way through. Just unfortunately wasn't able to get his way through, and is now going to be sticking just right there where he's at as they go down into the front stretch yet again. running around. I'm really, really, really enjoying this track. The more and more we see, the more and more I'm enjoying it as it goes along. It's just such a great run to watch here as these guys continue to battle it out, fight it out, and just have a great, great fight. It's very exciting here. Yeah, I don't have a good answer, though, at the moment for who's going to win, as we're only half race distance. Right now, I feel like it is going to be Aiden Garcia as they go. Now we have more GT3s into the pits. Tyler Stenick is in. Brandon Burns is in the pits as well. And Peridotto still on the back of Luke Patrick. Luke Patrick showing as your net race leader, but he has 43 seconds is the gap between him and Aiden Garcia. Aiden Garcia has a pit stop on Luke Patrick, but remember, they have to take 4 tires. It is mandatory for them to take 4 tires on the, oh my God, I can't think of words. It's mandatory for them to take 4 tires when they go through. So when they take those 4 tires, what happens with that? Well, it means that it sort of resets everything for them as they go, and they have to get used to the cold tires again, warm them up, which can take a second, and that makes things exciting. That was a lot of words basically to say that he has a pit stop time-wise. He doesn't truly have a pit stop because his tires have to warm up after the pit stop, so he'd probably get passed down this main straight.
Indeed, he can. Let's go ahead and see if we're going to see a move for position here. Luke Patrick trying to get a good run. Now, here's the thing. Slipstream isn't as effective here as it may look, because as every single F1 broadcaster that has talked about this track talks about the ludicrously high elevation. If I remember correctly, it is the same elevation as 2 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. And with higher elevation means thinner air, so the slipstream isn't going to be as effective on this track as it may look, because, I mean, you would run generally a high-ish downforce setup, but you still get a pretty good speed just because of the interesting situation that this track finds itself at.
Yeah, this track, if I am not incorrect, is around 7,000 feet MSL. So that's 7,000 feet above sea level. So think about that. You go to the beach, think about what's 7,000 feet up. That's like airplanes and stuff. Or it's Mexico City, Aerodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. I mean, it's next level. That's all I can say. And yeah, I just said that a track being 7,000 feet up is next level. So fight me on it. I don't care. I think it's hilarious to say that, and I'm going to let it be. Hugo Alexander Ortiz on their way out of the pits in that Aston Martin AMR. Going through, Brian Medderly going slow there, and that is going to let everyone start coming through. Benjamin Bechtel goes past. I don't know what exactly happened there for Brian Medderly. Up here, Luke Patrick still trying to get back past Coti Peridotto, and not able to yet, still trying to work his way around here. Cody Peridotto with a great job there, holding on to this lead.
Indeed, and the official approximation of the height is 2,285 meters, which is roughly around 7,300 feet above sea level. Which you compare that to like tracks like Sebring and Daytona, you're probably approximately about 7.3 feet above sea level, if even. So there's a bit of a comparison for you. Just a little bit of fun fact. You see, if you're in school and your parents tell you that sim racing isn't educational, then I'm just gonna have to disagree, because you do learn some really good stuff, just like we're learning how awesome this track is.
We're treading down the line of kids if it's 3 a.m. and your parents won't let you eat cake. We're treading down the Lamar line here. Let's be careful. Luke Patrick just got absolutely ruined by the battle between Hugo Alexander Ortiz and Vincent Lehibre going through and around because they are battling. Hugo and Vincent are battling for position. And of course, Cody was battling with Luke. Luke got stuck behind the traffic. Cody got past the traffic. And now Cody has passed Nicholas Paletti, who's in the pit. So you'll see Cody scored in P2 now. Aiden Garcia, 46 seconds in the lead of LMP2. A pit stop is about 42 seconds in the lane for the LMP2s. It's still not enough. I still don't think it's enough.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I think it's a massive learning period for these drivers too, just because we know a lot of them have had limited exposure to this track before jumping on it. I mean, it is the newest track on the platform, like we've mentioned before, so it's still crazy to me that we have a GT3 Pro in the top. Actually, we have several GT3 Pros within the top 10, one of which is in the top 6, being one Mr. Colin Bourdon. He is currently in P6 overall, which is really crazy to think about. But Aiden Garcia is into the pits now, so that will promote Cody Perdonato to the race lead, and he is going to go ahead and get past the traffic car of Benjamin Bechtel, and he's going to go ahead and enter Forest Hall, the stadium section here. And honestly, this is just such a cool sector of the track.
It really is. The fact that we drive under a stadium here is just absolutely amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it as we go through and along, continuing to watch these battles unfold here. 20.5 minutes left to go in this race. William Westbrook here putting some pressure down on Peter Nodwell, trying to get his way through, trying to run his way along, and William Westbrook doing a great job here of putting pressure on. Either me or him, one, have done a horrible job of filling out his spreadsheet information. Drivers, if you're listening to this, go fill out your spreadsheet information. Be like Peter Nodwell, who started out kart racing at 12 years old. We want fun facts to tell about you in the race. Make sure you go fill that out, and if you don't know where that's at, go look on Discord. I know the drivers are either listening or they're going to watch this after the fact, so I can shame them here. 20 minutes officially left to go right now, and Aiden Garcia has made his pit stop. Where is he at here, the two-time Petit Le Mans winner? 5 seconds out ahead of the 7-time league champion. Trying to make it 8-time, Cody Perdonato. Great run here to see as he goes through and along. Just... he's got to hope to keep it alive at this point. Easier said than done.
Yeah, it hasn't been exactly the best of seasons for him, by his standards anyway. By a lot of other people's standards, Cody Perdonato would be in a pretty good spot. But we're talking about the standings a bit earlier on, and I mean, it's interesting because, I mean, we know Cody Perdonato is usually a regular here in the victory circle, but that hasn't really been the case here this season. He hasn't won as many races as we are used to seeing from him. And taking a look at how things are in the standings, he is still in the lead by about 27 points. But it just takes one accident for him to kind of just lose it.
That it does. And while I don't, it's possible. We all know it's possible. We could see it happening. You just sort of have to buckle in and see what happens. It's just, again, you gotta... I don't have a better way to phrase it other than you need to have a bit of lady luck on your side just as much as you need to have the skill to make all of this possible. And that is the thing that I think some of the drivers forget, is that it's not always about the skill. The skill helps a lot. The practice, the consistency helps a lot. But you do need to have a little bit of a degree of lady luck who is with you in the end. And if you don't have that, well, you can have all the skill in the world and be the unluckiest driver in existence. Going through. Battles really starting to heat back up here in the final 17 minutes, 55 seconds. Kyle O'Grady here getting past Andre Wedderburn, who just now took his pit stop. Amazing to see that he waited this long to go into the pits here. Gap between Garcia and Peridotto and LMP2, that is about 3 seconds here. William Westbrook, Nodwell, they are about 0.3 of a second from each other as they try to chase down Tyler Stenick in the pros. Nathan Hemperly, I mean, 35 seconds to the good right now. He's pitted all the way through. Nathan Hemperly here has been untouchable in the GT3 AMs since the beginning here. Tyler Cook right now has Joshua a bit behind and Hugo Alexander Ortiz ahead as they come through the stadium section. I mean, the track has really opened itself up. These guys are really doing a good job of putting in pressure, giving things runs, trying to find a way to pass, working their way through. That sort of run there of the GT3s dominating the LMP2s has stopped at this point, but they're still really not that separated out when things are all said and done.
Yeah, because usually at this stage, the LMP2s would be several laps ahead of the GT3s. But, once again, not the case here tonight. Yeah, I think I want to say that a majority of this field is still on the lead the lap. Funny enough, a lot of people still on the lead the lap here, I believe. But, yeah, normally it's like at least 2 or 3 laps is usually the difference between the GT3s and the LMP2s, but Sector 1, the GT3s are quicker, so that has definitely been a factor here tonight. I think this race just needs to be on every calendar, honestly. Like, every calendar going forward, I think we should at least consider bringing this track back, because it has provided us with some technical difficulties, but more importantly, a crap ton of fun.
Here's your shocking fact. 15 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. We're watching the race leader. He still hasn't lapped the GT3 AM leader. He is still working his way through the field. He has not put the GT3 AM leader a lap down yet. Now, that is the GT3 AM leader on the bottom of your screen who just went off picture, but he still has not put the GT3 AM leader a lap down. That is how tightly compacted the pace is on all of these cars. Now, Chick-fil-A Doe car wasn't on my math for Aaron Clayball, but here it is. He is fighting Ondera and Wedderburn. They have been going back and forth here for some time, trying to work their way through and out and find a way along here in P8 and 9 of the GT3 AM category. They're having a great little scrap right now. A great little ding-dong, if you will. Just getting myself warmed up for Sunday at Triple Bypass, where apparently we have to do a British broadcast. Don't know why I signed up for that. Patrick, you doing anything Sunday night?
As of current, no, I am not.
Okay, question 2. Do you have a strong British accent?
No, that one I can answer for sure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I tried to get a sub for Sunday. No sub for Sunday available. If you have a very strong British accent, please send me a message on Discord and I'd be more than happy to check it out. Because, well, I don't have that strong of a British accent, but apparently me and Corey have to broadcast in British. So, a bottle of water and a fish and chips. And we'll see how that one goes through. Peter Nodwell here trying to put some pressure down with William Westbrook right behind, making his way through. Behind them, that is, I believe, Parker Chiapuzzo, who is working his way through. He's actually no factor. He's a lap down on the class actually going through. So we'll see what happens there. Medley now drafting Brandon Burns here heading down into turn 1. We'll see what sort of pass can be done here. Brandon Burns, who's building a division-focused league overlay for iRacing. Well, did his focused overlay see that up the inside? Brian Medley gets a clean pass through. Hard-fought battle. They continue along, and let's see how that one plays itself out as they go. Nathan Hemperly again, GT3 AM leader ahead of them. He's still on the lead lap. That is Aiden Garcia behind there. That gap, I'd say, is a few seconds. But yeah, no, Nathan Hemperly, GT3 AM, what a round of applause for still being on the lead lap in the AM category with 13 minutes to go.
He's actually ahead of quite a few GT3 pros as well. He is ahead of Medley, Burns, Bruce, Alexander Ortiz, and Cook. He's ahead of 5 GT3 pros as the GT3 AM leader. So Nathan Hemperly is doing pretty good now. After so long, he's finally going to go ahead and get lapped there by the LMP1. The race leader of Andy Garcia finally getting past that last GT3 AM leader. Not the last GT3 overall, but the last AM.
Hey Patrick, they're your LMP2s, not LMP1s.
Yeah, touche. That's almost as bad as Corey calling me Brad last night.
That's going to happen forever. Get used to it. Side by side right here, William Westbrook, Peter Nodwell. Look at this great little scrap-a-lap-a-ding-dong going through. William Westbrook with a great clearing run there past Nodwell, able to open up the gap and go along. Now Colin Bourdon and Callan Tobin battling it through. They're going to have a great little Jiminy Christmas going through. I don't really know British sayings. I just feel like they say the most out-of-pocket things. It's almost like if you're from like the deep south, your grandma has all those weird little sayings. It feels like that going through it. Why are we talking about British commentary right now? That's not even a elbows out thing. That's a Sunday thing. Anyways, going through 11 and a half minutes left to go here. Patrick, I'm going to have you take over for a second. Talk about something on the track that you want to talk about. We'll cut the cameras to it.
All right. Well, I think we should focus on this battle that we got going on right here in front of us. Callan Tobin and Colin Bourdon go ahead and make the way into the stadium section. Estadio, if you will. Forestall is the official name, and they're going to go ahead and continue to go ahead and try to chase each other down. The slipstream, once again, isn't super strong on the circuit. I mean, if this was at regular elevation, then we'd probably have the strongest slipstream on the calendar. So he's going to go ahead and try, but he's lost a bit of time through that stadium section to Colin Bourdon. We know the Mustang is a very strong car on the straights, and it looks like that straight line speed is helping it out. As I believe I just saw Bob Perry get overtaken by a GT3 car. I think he just got overtaken by that McLaren just up ahead.
You did indeed see that, and that was, if I can click names right, that was Parker Chiapuzzo working his way through and along there with the number 95 of Aaron Clayball. But now Bob Carey back through and around going into the middle sector, so we'll see if he's able to hold on to that. Tyler Cook, Hugo Alexander Ortiz. It's not an EOR broadcast if I don't at least get tongue-tied once here. The Liv Moss car, the 691 here, Tyler Cook taking on Hugo Alexander Ortiz down the main straight. Let's see how this battle goes. Going through behind them, Joshua Bibb having a bit of traffic tuck up behind. That's not actually a battle for position there with Joshua Bibb. That is going to be... which... Macca is that? I usually can tell the Macca is really quick by looking at him, but for some reason I cannot today. But it doesn't matter because ahead of them, Hugo and Tyler really duking it out. Tyler looks right, Tyler looks left. Tyler not able to find a pass there. Might be a little careful with it, Tyler. You don't want to get pinged for moving under braking or doing any sort of overly risky moves. I think that was clean, but it was right borderline of naughty, if I have to be honest with you. Going along as they continue that battle out. Up front, a second and a half, Aiden Garcia, Cody Perodato. A second and a half with 9 minutes to go separates our overall lead.
Which is pretty crazy to think about in the grand scheme of things. But we are down to less than 10 minutes to go here on the clock. And I think the racing is only going to go ahead and get more intense here. As Cody is going to go try to pass the McLaren there. But, we see a good amount of scrapping here. The GTs and Callan Tobin, I believe, didn't have really going out just up ahead of these guys. And they are steering here. Now we have a battle potentially coming up for the on-track lead, although I believe Aiden Garcia still needs to make a pit stop, so this is just for track position at this point.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be...
That was close.
Let's watch out here, Aiden, going through. That's the Chick-fil-A car. It is his pleasure to race. This is a dumpster fire that they've come up on. This is Callan Tobin. This is Christopher Ondera. I mean, I don't know how much you can flash the headlights here, Aiden. You might be in trouble. We might have a problem on our hands if you're Aiden Garcia. Going through, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, I don't have words for this, but now, overall lead after that traffic faux pas is separated by 0.3 of a second. Down the slipstream, split the GT3s, the 184 dives to the outside, down the inside is gonna go Ondera going through. The 184 was Colin Bourdon, who is now a lap down. Hard on the brakes we go. Cody Peridotto trying to make his move through, doing a great job of holding on to it here as he goes along. This is just, I mean, impressive stuff. There is Bob Carey ahead. What is he going to do in terms of getting lapped? Let's keep our eyes on that one here as they go through. Callan Tobin, the next car that they need to work their way through. 6 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. It's anyone's guess how this one ends, but I'll tell you what, I don't really care how it ends. It's been fireworks since the beginning.
It has definitely been a fiesta on track, that's for certain. It is excellent racing here. I mean, we've seen some very strong battles here, and this is honestly like, this has lived up to the hype that we had coming into this race. And oh, that's a bit of a wide moment there. For one, Bob Carey, he goes wide, but he is lapped now. So once again, the battle for the lead is going to continue. Could have been thinking about a move, but there's not enough real estate to make the move sensibly. And now he is stuck behind Callan Tobin. Callan Tobin holding up these LMP2s through the stadium section. But you can moves going into the stadium section, but during the stadium section, it's not super easy to get moved. And now on the massive start-finish straight, they are going to go and get past the Mustang, and they're going to make the run into turn number 1. Who's going to go ahead and be braver on the race? We'll just have to find out here in a few moments' time.
Let's see here. Any sort of thoughts around braking on the curb, driving through the grass? Of course, iRacing will give you a slowdown, even if the FIA won't. There we go. Great moves from everyone. They survive their way through. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left to go. I do want to check back in a little bit here. Hugo Alexander Ortiz still in this battle with Tyler Cook, who is going through. Liv Moss ahead, Hugo behind, and then behind them, that is Joshua Bibb, P2 in the AM class there. Nathan Hemperly in the lead as they go. Kel Hagen is also given a great run here against Luke Patrick. Again, Bob Carey, Christopher Ondera in the mix there. That's going to cause a bit of a bottleneck, a bit of a checkup coming through, and when that happens, that just makes for all sorts of great action to come along there as drivers try to get past them, but also battle for position as they go. Aiden Garcia here, 0.2 of a second is his lead, and rapidly closing as they go past the Mustang there. They're going to take it side by side, 3 wide into the stadium section, and Peridotto thinks better of it. Hard on the brakes there, backs out of it.
Looks like he might have had a bit of a snap there, too. Going through the entrance of the stadium section. He's going to go and give it the old college try here next time around. He's significantly closer. This go around, he's going to go in and get a very good run. Coming down to start finish straight here. Is he going to be able to get the move done and dusted? He's going to try. This is a move he needs to get done. He needs to get this done sooner rather than later. He's going to try. He's going to get really close to the back. He's going to go in. No, he actually doesn't shake for it. I think he could have made it there, but I mean, from our versus their perspective are two completely different things. So I think in Peridotto's mind, he knows Garcia still has to pit, so he doesn't need to do anything risky to get this move done.
Yeah, nothing at all here, and this is where things get really... Actually, no, Peridotto has pit. That's my fault on that one. Peridotto has pit. I'm not sure why it's showing different, but I'm pretty sure he has here as we go along.
Has Garcia pit? Because I thought he still needed to pit.
I'm double checking my timing sheet. I don't. there is someone that needs to pit, and I'm not sure who it is unless we missed somebody pitting in, which is, I mean, also a possibility. Let's see here as we go along. Still, that battle continues between these two going through here, and I mean, this is just impressive. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in the Multiclase de Gracias 60. And they are continuing to battle this one out very, very hard and competitively. It's the fact that we went 58 minutes and we're down to just 2 minutes to go, and we still don't know who's going to be the winner and the lead. This is amazing to watch here as they go through. They work their way through the traffic now, and as they work their way through and along, that is going to be great to see how it helps here. Hard on the brakes goes Perodato, not able to get his way through. Further back here, I do want to highlight Ethan Murphy, Parker Chiapuzzo. They come down the main straight. They are side by side. 2 minutes of racing left to go here as these guys continue along. And let's see, is there going to be a late move? Diving up the inside. It doesn't look like it. So these guys are going to hold on and along. And Cody Perodato now a second back from Aiden Garcia as they work their way through traffic. That is Westbrook. Westbrook flashing the lights for I don't know what reason, as he's the car going a lap down, and he is in the lower class. Cody Perodato barely clearing room there as he goes. Possibly Westbrook doesn't like the Peter Nodwell's right up the rear of him. But hey, guess what? There's a minute 20 left to go, and they're battling for the win here on the next to last lap. It should be white flag next time they take the line here. They'll come through the stadium section for the next to last time. Will it be Garcia ahead of Perodato this time next lap?
We'll just kind of have to see, because I mean, if Aiden Garcia has yet to pit, then he'll come in at the end of this one because he won't have enough time to make the pit stop again next time around. So we'll see here. This will be kind of our indicator if he has pit or not. No, I think he might have already pit. So this is actually a genuine battle for the lead and for the win of this race. Final lap, the white flag is being shown here, and it is game on between Cody Perodato and Aiden Garcia. This is going to be a fast and furious battle. Now Cody Perodato is going to have to try to get a move on, but once again, there's just too much space in between two cars, and they're going to make it through Sector 1, but they are going to have to fight tooth and nail. One to keep the position, and another to try to gain that position, as it is the battle for the overall lead here on the final lap of this Mexican Grand Prix here.
This is going to be a great battle to watch, and there's only one way to know how it ends, and that's, well, to see it through. Aiden Garcia leading Cody Perodato as they go along. They continue to battle their way forward. The question for me at the moment truly is, how does this go? Because it's just such a close fight, and there's no telling how this one can end. Coming in through the S's, they go along, they hold on here, going towards the stadium section. That is lap traffic. That is exactly what Aiden Garcia did not need. He did not need the lap traffic to come in. Cody Perodato right on the back here. He's going to be looking for a move. Can Cody Perodato find it? No, he's not close enough. And now he's not close enough. He's not able to work his way through. That is going to mean into the stadium section. Can he hold on? It's just a couple more corners to go. Coming out of the final corner, it does look like Cody Perodato is not able to take it on. Charizard is going to breathe some fire, bring his way through the final corner, and it is going to be Aiden Garcia crossing the line to win the Multiclase de Gracias 60 here in Elbows Out Racing. What a beautiful run from him. Further back, Tyler Stenick is just now kicking off his final lap. He still has an entire lap to go. And then Nathan Hemperly, where is he? Well, he's in an absolute gaggle coming out of the final sector. Nathan Hemperly, who has dominated in GT3 AM, is going to cross the line and win. Beautiful moves from everyone here as they go. Again, big shout out to Aiden Garcia getting that dominant win here. Tyler Stenick still has a lap to go here on the way through and around. He still has not finished his run here. And Patrick, I tell you what, this has been wild. What a wild, wild way to finish this race here, Patrick. Ending up 0.2 of a second, the gap between Garcia and Perodato, but in the end, Perodato able to hold on to it. Or Garcia hold on to it. Put some respect on Aiden Garcia's name. As Tyler Stenick comes across the line here, final sector, final corners through the stadium, and he is going to win.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, Mustangs have shown up in full force here tonight. The original pony car galloping its way into P1 at 2 separate passes, and Aiden Garcia take a bow. This has been a very well-earned win against a driver that I know is an absolute menace to race against sometimes. Seeing him in your rearview mirror is like seeing 2023 Verstappen, and Aiden Garcia handled it beautifully here tonight.
That he did. And let's go ahead and go through our race results. And they are as follows here. We'll work a GT3 amp up. Nathan Hemperly, 36 seconds in the lead over Joshua Bibb, with Dayton McGuire another 30 plus seconds behind that. Then it's going to be Daniel Pinero, Kyle O'Grady, Andre Wedderburn, Christopher Ondera, Matthew Marin, Aaron Clayball, Derek Rice, Benjamin Bechtel, Seth Fosselman, and Craig Yor, your 13 cars taking on GT3 AM. In the GT3 Pro category, it is as follows. Tyler Stenick winning again. He crossed the line there and then had to go an extra lap because of the way the timer worked. He was the last car on the lead lap, so he scored a lap up over William Westbrook there as it stands. Peter Nodwell in P3, Callan Tobin in 4th, Colin Board on P5, Metterly in 6, Burns, Bruce, Cook, Hugo Alexander Ortiz, your top 10. From there we go Chiapuzzo, Murphy, Lehiber, Paul Nye, Mike Sermon, Zach Nerney, John Javicki, and Travis Bell, the 18 cars in GT3 Pro. And LMP2, it is as follows. Aiden Garcia, Cody Perodato, Kel Hagen, Luke Patrick, Nicholas Paletti, Maxwell Woodmansee, Dwight Hibbs, Bob Carey, Dylan Ackley, the 9 LMP2s taking this on. And I tell you what, Patrick, I'm going to have you start out with one Mr. Nathan Hemperly, who wins by dominating 36 seconds to the good over the GT3 Anfield.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Nathan, congratulations. It's a new track, so I know there's a lot of unknowns coming into this week. Overall, how did you find this track? Because there's a lot of places where it seemed like the GT3s were actually quicker than the LMP2s.
You know, whenever this track came out last season, I fell in love with it during the Week 13 series. So I get on this track weekly. So, and I've been practicing with my teammate, and we've fallen in love with this track. So as long as you know where the track limits are and where you can cut, you can gain so much time.
Indeed, yeah, and it looked like you were having a blast. Did it feel like that the Mustang, its characteristics and how much the Mustang does like straight speeds come into effect here?
Oh, 1,000%. Because I remember Joshua Bell was right along with me, and if we were going down the straights, even if he was in my draft, I was still pulling. The Mustang just had so much straight line speed. That's why we decided to go with it this season.
Indeed. Just going to go and ask you 2 more questions before we go ahead and let you go. Enjoy your victory here. We are heading to Monza next week, another high-speed track. How are you feeling?
Oh, we are so ready. We've already been practicing. We've got our strategy down, so it's going to be a fun race.
All right, last question before we let you go. Is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out here tonight?
I want to thank my teammate, because without him, we wouldn't have been able to knock this track down and run some good laps. So I appreciate it.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on the win and have a good night. We'll see
Thanks,
you next
gentlemen.
week.
You too.
All right, and from there, we'll go ahead and grab the GT3 Pro winner here, Tyler Stenick. Let's grab him, have a quick word with him on the night. Tyler, man, started second, finished first, but I almost feel like that doesn't tell the whole story of your race. Tell me, how'd it feel here around Mexico?
Wasn't too bad. It's first time running it. But yeah, no, it was kind of chaotic. I feel bad for Paul, and that sucked. The whole situation. I guess his wheel disconnected. Um, got unfortunate contact with William in the beginning. I didn't expect us to check up, but I'm happy it didn't completely ruin his race. But other than that, yeah, I didn't expect that result. But I'm obviously happy with it, and it definitely helps with the championship, and you can't be upset about it.
And Tyler, kind of talk to me about the championship here. You know, we're getting in, we're at race 7 at the moment. You know, you've got 3 drop weeks here. What's kind of the plan championship wise, and what do you think is going to happen?
Last week I kind of shot myself in the foot. I had a fever and a flu when I ran last week, and I didn't realize it was an endurance race, so I started like way under fuel. So I had to sit in the pits for like extra 8 seconds. So I kind of ruined myself last week, but I don't really have a plan. I'm just gonna run, just try to get the best results I can, and not really think about the drop weeks, and just try to do the best I can every week, and that's about it, and just hopefully survive.
I think it'll be exciting to watch here, man. And looking forward to next week, kind of how do you feel that you're going to do in that Mustang at Monza, the Temple of Speed?
Going from this track, which is super curb heavy, I think the Mustang will be strong because it seems to do really well with the curves with the new tire model and straight line speed. So I mean, I think it should be just as competitive as this. So, and I know Monza more better than this. So yeah, I know it should be good. I'm excited for it.
Awesome, man. Well, Tyler, it was great to watch you run here. Congratulations on that win in GT3 Pro, and we'll catch up with you later, man.
All right.
All right, and last but not least, I tell you what, we got Aiden Garcia to speak to here. Patrick, I'll let you catch up with him, our overall race winner by 0.2 of a second.
Aiden, welcome. I think this is the first time I've personally seen you here in this booth here, at least during LMP2s, but how does it feel to get overall win under your belt?
Surreal, honestly. Ever since we brought the P2s in, a lot of fast people have came into the league, so kind of extended that gap up to the podium there. And as you guys know, I've just been kind of dwindling down at 4th place over and over again. And this week it all just kind of lined up. Pitch strategy worked perfectly, and I was able to make it happen.
Indeed, yeah, and actually, because I mean, we know Cody Peridotto is super quick, but we were actually trying to remember if you did make a pit stop, which you did. So I mean, but this was a very well-driven race for you. How was this new circuit?
Honestly, similar to Nathan, I fell in love with it during week 13. It is a very, very technical track, but when you hit it right, man, does it feel great. With the P2 specifically, there's a lot of points where you got to kind of watch bottoming out the car. So you got to glide over the curbs just the right way to make sure that inside tire's skipping over just the right way. If not, you rotate the car. So when it all lines up, it just makes the track so much fun.
Indeed, and I mean, in my experiences with this track, it's always been a really fun one. 3 more questions before we let you go. I mean, you fought tooth and nail against Peridotto there at the end. How nervous were you just seeing that he was pretty much right on your tail for at least the last like 10 minutes of the race straight?
Oh, I was very, very anxious. It was very much a do not mess it up situation. Just try and put down as quick of a lap as I could and hope that traffic was affecting his laps just as much as they were mine.
Indeed, and just to go ahead and ask you the same question we asked our GT3 class leaders, it is the Temple of Speed, or some people like to call it the Temple of Turn 1 Shenanigans next week in Monza. How confident are you going into one of the most famous circuits on the planet?
Relatively confident. I'm definitely confident that I'll probably at least be in the midfield. It's one of those tracks that is easy to learn, but very hard to be fast at. And then you add in the multi-class, and it's just going to be a very fun time.
All right, last question before I let you go. Is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out after tonight's very hard-earned victory?
Absolutely. I want to shout out my family. My dad does love to watch these weekly. Sometimes he actually joins in live with us here. So he's a very big supporter. And then also my girlfriend, she supports the hobby, graciously puts up with me asking for random weekends and whatnot when it comes down to do the endurance special events.
It's always awesome to have the support of your friends, family, loved ones. It's always such a good feeling. But I also know that getting the win is also a very good feeling. So, Aiden, once again, congratulations and go celebrate. Go have a fiesta. You earned it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys again. You guys have a great night.
You do.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think this has been one successful day. We got to talk with everyone, and any final thoughts before we send this one off into the sunset here on what's been a exciting 60 minutes?
Please bring this race back more often, because honestly, like, we were always curious about how a multi-class endurance race would go around here, and honestly, I think we're both hooked just as much as the drivers are.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. And I think my final question here, we talked about this pre-broadcast, but I told you to pick a driver. Did you pick your driver?
Honestly, just considering how his season has gone and where it has led to, I'm going to give it to our overall winner here tonight.
All right, so Aiden Garcia, and then mine is going to be Nathan Hemperly. So if you are Aiden Garcia or Nathan Hemperly, I need a DM with the word orangutan, and I've got a prize waiting for you to collect. And I'll tell you what, we'll pick one more driver here. So that's an AM, that's an LMP2. If you're Hugo Alexander Ortiz, if you are Aiden Garcia, and if you are Nathan Hemperly, I need a DM with the word orangutan. And you'll have a prize coming from your friends here at BTR TV. But with that being said, this was the Gran Premio de la Hora Multiclase de Gracias, Tacos y Turbo en la Ciudad de México. Yeah, that's the last time I'm going to say that one. We're going to send this one off into the sunset, but on behalf of Patrick, my name is Brad. We've taken you start to finish. Be sure to join us for the next one where we'll take you start to finish yet again. Good night.